Welcome back, Wolfpack. Vrelis here with Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire coming out, and just a lot of people having played the X and Y for quite some time right now. I'm going to try to keep up with the team building guides, team building strategy discussions, not just showing you the Pokemon, but what you have to do for the rest of your team to make the most out of those Pokemon. I've been kind of out of ideas, honestly, which is why I haven't done a team building guide. I kind of have set some foundations, but I had a great epiphany that I think that this is one of the best things that you need to understand for team building, that to win more battles, this might be the strongest philosophy that you need to understand, and that's just setting win conditions and understanding momentum. And I think that the more you understand that, the easier it is for you to establish what you need to do to win more battles, because sometimes you could throw away a battle, or other times you could find that one play that's hiding there, and just start using that to your advantage. So I've been talking with a lot of fans, reading comments, talking with friends, just kind of understanding how things work. And my team really reflects momentum very well, that the team I've been using for laddering. That if you look at it, I really rely on Barbaracle, Medicham, and Mega Medicham really a lot. That Barbaracle has a lot of strength. That pretty much it's worried about priority because it's going to Shell Smash. It's going to become frail, and it's going to use Focus Sash to get to that point. So it's going to be at that one hit point, and priority, I can't stop it no matter how fast I am. This 470 speed doesn't matter. So what's a good Pokemon against priority? Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn does great because priority is pretty much always going to be physical except for Vacuum Wave. And then on top of that, you're going to be able to resist a lot of it. Bullet Punch, Aqua Jet, and since Mach Punch even has low base power, Ferrothorn is just a huge physical tank. It handles it well and it can shift that momentum around. What I want to do is I want to play to my win condition. That my win condition, I keep saying this, is if they don't have priority, I win. That if they don't have any way of setting up Stealth Rocks or something, like if I had a Defog Pokemon, it'd be a lot better as well. That if I can remove those things from the field, Barbaracle can easily just go 6-0. That it doesn't have anything to worry about, and that's what a win condition is. That either Pokemon, here's an easier way to put it. That to win a battle, you have to +1. That at some point in the game, you have to trade 2 Pokemon of your opponents for one of yours. That if one of your Pokemon, or throughout all of your Pokemon, you're not effectively getting 2 KOs, you can't win a battle. It's that simple. So you have to play to those Pokemon. You have to understand that that's what sweepers are for. That support Pokemon are to try to be like, hey, I'm going to use my 1 to make it to where my sweeper can go +2, 3. And that's how they go and win. That Medicham. With Medicham, really anything it outspeeds, it's going to KO. And that with its bulk, even Pokemon that outspeed it can do really well. So I want to try to eliminate Pokemon that are going to hit it super, or Pokemon that are just faster than it and hard hitting. Other than that though, high jump kick, neutral hit KOs almost everything. Thunder Punch for coverage, Zen Headbutt, very good as well. So if I can play to Mega Medicham and Barbaracle, I'm going to win more battles, and I don't care if I use those other 4 slots for it. You know, Ferrothorn helps out with Mega Medicham. That I have Scarf Ditto as well, or Skarmory. That Skarmory is a good Pokemon at shifting around momentum. And that one of the main reasons why I bring Scarf Togekiss is that if it outspeeds Mega Medicham, it might not outspeed Scarf Togekiss, and it's going to be a fast, potentially frail Pokemon, and Togekiss is good at that. Togekiss is good at eliminating that threat and just going like, hey, I can 2-hit KO you with Air Slash, I'm bulky, and you have a 60% chance to not be able to attack in that response to the 2-hit KO. It also has Flamethrower to pick up Ferrothorns and Scizors and stuff. It just has a lot of things that balance out really well across it. And then I have Clefable. Clefable is my late game backbone. That if Ferrothorn, Skarmory, Ditto, Togekiss, Mega Medicham, Barbaracle, if they've been on the field doing even a small amount of work, Clefable should have nothing to worry about. That's really not going to be super hard-hitting Pokemon that can out-kill it. That if it's a 2-hit KO, Clefable wins. That I can soft-boiled leftovers recover, sneak in a Calm Mind, and eventually Moonblast my way or Flamethrower my way to victory in most circumstances by just getting to that Calm Mind stage. Or if they only have special Pokemon left as well, Clefable has a field day. Or certain physical Pokemon. So that's what I mean. Like, I'll either use Togekiss, Clefable, Ferrothorn, and I like Scarf Ditto as an example. Let's go throw Ditto back up, because Ditto is a perfect Pokemon to just ruin your opponent's momentum. That you bring in their Pokemon that's wreaking havoc, but better. It's Scarfed. If they have Swords Dance, if they have any kind of boost onto them, Dragon Dance, whatever, you're faster. You're going to copy that, and you're going to destroy them and potentially the rest of their team. But on top of that, I don't mind throwing away 2 Pokemon with Clefable, Ferrothorn, even Togekiss, just so Barbaracle has that better chance to go 3-4-0 and help set up for Medicham as well. That I play a little riskier, but a lot of my Pokemon, they're high risk, high reward. That Clefable has gone 6-0. Togekiss can go 3-0. Ferrothorn can wall out a lot of Pokemon. Mega Medicham and Barbaracle, they're 4 to 6-0 Pokemon as well. So if you can establish that on your team, that's kind of what you're looking for. And I think that that's a big thing to winning more battles. That if you're not winning a lot of battles right now, you have to understand who on your team is going +1. If no Pokemon are reliably going +1, look to either support those Pokemon or switch out those Pokemon. Be like, well, I need a new Pokemon for that. And then you have to also understand what your Pokemon are weak against. 2 of my Pokemon are supported by 3 of my Pokemon, just because I know that with those 3 Pokemon supporting those 2, I have a better chance of scoring 4, 5, 6 KOs. And you can play that way, or you can play a lot more safe. That if you look at other things, like, let's go to just a new team. Pokemon, the reason why Pokemon are in OU or overused, or like a Pokemon that you see almost frustratingly too much, is because they're very safe. That if you look at these Pokemon, you know, Heatran comes in, it can be a good tank. That with a lot of things, Ferrothorn's a good tank, Chansey's a very good tank. Dragonite can set up with Dragon Dances really well with its multi-scale ability. Garchomp is just a reliable mid-bulk Pokemon. Gyarados has Dragon Dance, and like Landorus. Landorus is incredibly safe. Pretty much these Pokemon are very safe, and they're very reliable at setting up. That, you know, Thundurus, it can easily score 2-3 KOs because it has a great amount of speed, it has a great amount of special attack, and same with Talonflame, Terrakion. These Pokemon, they can get in, and if there's not much opposing them, they can go get that +2 that they need. And then you have other Pokemon like Rotom, Mew throwing out support. But at the same time, you know, you don't have to be locked to that. Oh, and let's go talk about Ubers. Aegislash sets up Blaziken and Mawile. These Pokemon set up naturally and just have a lot of bulk that make it really hard to stop. But I mean, even if you keep going down the list, you have Pokemon like Volcarona. Volcarona's a good Pokemon. If it gets a Quiver Dance or 2, it can go to +2, +3, 6-0 potentially as well. That there's a lot of strength with these Pokemon. I think that it's just understanding all that. That if you can see the Pokemon's win conditions, if you can understand how well these Pokemon react in different situations, that sometimes they have to support, other times you have to just make sure they can get that 1-for-1 or that +1. And I think that that's probably the biggest thing to understanding the game. That once you can understand that, once you can see which Pokemon are doing what your weaknesses are, it's like, oh, I'm always losing to this. Switch it up. Try to play to those win conditions. Try to bring in maybe 1 or 2 more gamble Pokemon. Have a Pokemon that's going to use Swords Dance, Dragon Dance, Shell Smash even. Shell Smash is a very strong thing, and I believe it's very underrated. Play to those Pokemon as well. So that's kind of it. That, you know, every Pokemon has strength somewhere. That depending on what your team needs, you can pull out that crazy Pokemon. Galvantula is a good setup Pokemon. If it gets that Sticky Web in there, it's going to have like Medicham under Sticky Web is very threatening. For an example, that if Medicham does bad against Pokemon that are faster than it, Sticky Web makes those Pokemon slower than it. So now it's going to be doing good against almost everything until they have to bring in their Defog. But even then, they're almost having to sacrifice that Pokemon for Defog against a Mega Medicham, against a Pokemon that has a lot of bulk. So I hope that kind of made sense. That when you're looking at it, you know, it's a lot of safe options, but it's also a lot of gambly options. That you have to either find Pokemon that reliably, over the course of the battle, like Landorus, like Heatran, will equal a KO's worth of disruption or more, or you just have to go for those Pokemon that go, hey, I hit the field, and if you can't stop me, I'm going to go 2-3 Pokemon. And I think that was the problem with a lot of the Pokemon that you see are banned. Aegislash, not many people can respond to it. Mawile, Kangaskhan, Blaziken, if it gets set up and there aren't answers, and there are less answers than other Pokemon for, it's going to be KO City. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, I think that this is like probably one of the most important things to understand. With ORAS coming out, you guys need to see like, okay, which Pokemon aren't sweeping hard enough, which Pokemon need to sweep more, which Pokemon team need more support, or where's my momentum going? I need to either redirect my opponent's momentum or find that mid Pokemon for my momentum. Mine is Ferrothorn, mine's Ditto. Sometimes it can be Togekiss. That, you know, what's a good revenge kill Pokemon as well? That revenge Pokemon are very good because your opponent's either going to have to switch in to eat a hit or just trade that kill for a fresh kill. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you all have a nice day. Happy battling, get better, all those things.